This is part 2 of the table support building. In part 1 I made this thing that's supposed to come right here, and also these two cute little locating pins that will hold the top part in place. And this future top part is right here. I already cleaned up 3 sides and I'm ready to do the 4th one. Because this part has to fit on this part here, on this surface. Here's some kind of rail. This one needs, of course, a T-shape and nothing. Make it fit, that's all. I wanted this thing to be a close fit. It fits, but there's a little bit of a wiggle in it. Just a bit too much to my liking. But maybe with the locating pins it will be okay. To locate the holes that I have to drill, it's maybe a nice occasion to try out the brand new to me edge finder. Scale check. Okay. With the brand new locating pins more or less in place, they're not really completely pushed in, but I think it fits, and the holes for the bolts also line up, so I think that's a win. Now I have to countersink these 2 holes here to take my bolts, and of course I don't have the right countersink to do this. So let's find a solution. I think I've got something here. I have a 12mm drill bit. It's a bit too small for the bolt heads, but if I have to, I can cut the bolt heads in the lathe, of course. I'm gonna pre-drill at almost required depth, And after that I will pass this roughing end mill, because this one is also 12 millimeter and it's a 4 flute. I have a 12 millimeter 2 flute, but I think it's gonna be too violent to plunge down, so I think this will be better. Let's find out. To make sure that the end mill is not gonna grab in the bottom of this hole here, I locked the quill and I will feed up with the table. I think it's more secure. Looks great. That could work. I thought it's maybe the right moment to do a little bit of assembly, but it's maybe not a good idea, because these pins are a really tight fit and I have to drill holes here on top and on the bottom side, of course, to hold some kind of, I don't know what, thing. Did you ever had the case that you're looking for some kind of piece of scrap to use in your project and you just can't find the thing you need? I need 2 pieces to make these top parts here. One here, one on the bottom, of course. And what should be nice is that they have, of course, the same width. This is 39 millimeter. Now, 2 pieces of this should be nice, but I think it's too thin. This is 5 millimeter, not rigid enough. I found maybe something better. Too short. And in this one there's a cut in it. This is the leftover of the first part I made. I think it's too heavy. This should be nice. This is 10 millimeter plate. If I cut two parts out of it, clean it up a bit. And of course, this hole is in the way, thin, too short. I can't use this. This should be really nice. Bolt it. But if I want to bolt it here, the bolt that goes through is going to interfere with this here. Not good. I have these. Too small, because I need to hold it with 4 bolts in the corners. This 30 millimeter should be 40. This was my first idea. This is also 10 millimeter thickness. Not good. And then I found these. This is 10 millimeter thickness, a bit over 40 wide. Perfect. But the hole is in the way. Too short. So my only option left is to cut a piece of this L iron. This should be long enough so I could cut a slice here and one here and clean it up and drill the holes, and let's do But first I think I will drill the holes here in these top surfaces. And to do that, of course, my part has to be like this in a milling machine, because the drill press is not really precise. I will do it here on a milling machine. And of course I don't have enough clearance here. So I think I'm gonna put it back in horizontal mode. Because the surface finish on this surface here is not really what I wanted, and there is a little bit of a lower spot here, I don't know where it comes from. While it's in horizontal mode, I'm gonna quickly skim this surface a little bit, just make it flat before drilling holes. Right, what do we have here? That looks a little bit better. Tapping by hand, primitive. Before I start cutting out these two pieces here, and now that the holes are drilled and cut, it's maybe a good idea to do the assembly and fit it on a machine, so I can measure which height I need for these parts and which height I need for the studs. Let's see if, maybe it's a good idea to put a bit thing on it so it doesn't rust too much. A little bit more. Hey! This used to be my plastic hammer. It fits. I just cut out a piece of this L-iron thing and I left two parts in one. So first I will shape the 5 surfaces and then cut it in two and then shape the 6th surface on both. And what machine I'm gonna use, I'm not gonna tell you. This time you have to figure it out for yourself. Huh? How did you know? Oh, let's install. Man, I really have to fix it. But no worries. I can handle it. This one, for example. Yeah, that could work. This is of course not the right way how to handle hammers, but for this stupid plastic thing it will work. See? It works. Depth of cut 0.5 millimeter. And the cutting speed is 18 meters a minute. And it could be a little bit more. That's good. Damn, that's hot. Because there's no clearance between the bottom of the ram here, the tool slide, and the part, I installed my extended tool hole and I will cut it on the side. And to prevent the clapper to clap too hard, I installed also a couple of rubber bands. It looks stupid, but it works. And of course, drill the 4 holes, 2 parts in one go. Final assembly, I think, I hope, we'll see. I made 2 little studs here. Now it's a bit hard to film because this thing is very heavy and I have to hold it, but and a counter nut on the thing like this. This one is of course the same, but because the hole goes through, I slotted it on the end and I can turn it with my screwdriver. That will be handy. Of course, this is a little bit the idea as a machinist jack. Put the stud against the table, but not tighten it, of course. Otherwise I'm gonna lift the table. The other one is of course a little bit more fiddly. I wanted 2 screws like this one with a nice flat head, and of course I have only one. So I will buy new and then I will switch it. It's a bit unfortunate that for the moment I don't have a project in mind where I need to take heavy cuts to test this thing out. But I'm pretty confident this thing will work, it will hold. And if it doesn't, I can always adapt it. I really enjoyed building this thing. Lots of different operations, different machines, different setups, and then change again, and I think it was really fun. And now something completely different. I posted this video on November 11th. November 11th, you know, end of World War I, and of course the poppy that is used as a symbol for World War I victims. And over the years this poppy became a bit a symbol of all the wars. And I don't know how to put it. Let's go for a walk, you will quickly understand. And you could maybe think we finally learned some kind of lesson here. But no, we didn't.